Oh my god.
Rainbow
That's how it
Six
works?
Siege is introducing some new hardware with the reveal of Crystal Guard, and it's giving the attackers a chance to do some constructive redecorating. A new operator named Osa has designed transparent, bulletproof shields that she can deploy in windows,
Oh, and she can walk around
doors,
with it.
or the middle of the floor. Can she give her attacker allies the power to reinforce a position and turn the map to their advantage? Or will the defenders see right through her plans? Crystal Guard is also bringing operator balance tweaks to IQ, Fuze, and Twitch, a flashy rework to flashbangs, and map updates to Clubhouse, Coastline, and Bank.
Man, the
Osa joins
the
Team Rainbow
flashes
as a
now make you go to a different
medium
map.
armor attacker. She can protect herself and her allies with her Talon 8 clear shields. This gadget brings a little bit of
Barricade
defense
on coastline
to the
window.
offense, as Osa can set it up to offer bulletproof cover in otherwise exposed positions to help attackers dig in and push on. But as you can clearly see, there are some big differences between the Talon 8 and the Defender's deployable shields. While they're roughly the same size, the Talon 8 is taller and protects Osa's head when she carries it, unlike the deployable shield. Also, it's see-through. You can see your enemies, and they can see you. Usually when this happens in Siege, someone is dead almost immediately. But the Talon 8s can create some pretty intense stare-downs. Osa's shields can establish angles in key doorways.
I don't know how
down
useful this is
lengthy
gonna be.
hallways, or from the bottom or top of a window, as she can deploy them while on rappel. And if there's
The rappel is a
breakable
nice.
barricade
Wait,
where
upside
she wants to
down?
deploy it,
What?
anyone on the other side is in for a fun surprise.
Upside down is interesting.
And
left
much
hand
like
pipe
Mira's
stuck in
Black
the
Mirrors,
basement.
Osa's shields have a pressurized canister that can be punctured to drop the shield entirely. Osa brings a lot of utility to help modify the battlefield to her allies' advantage.
Interesting.
And set up formidable fortifications to give the defenders a taste of their own medicine. Along with Osa, Crystal Guard is bringing map updates to
bar
Clubhouse,
rework.
Coastline, and Bank, operator balancing tweaks to IQ, Fuze, and Twitch, as well as a few more improvements that the team is very excited
These
to
can
share
now
with
put
you.
it on
So
reinforcements.
we'll send it back to Camille, and on with the show.
Don't know how I feel about that.
Now that you've had a look at Osa in action, I know the wheels are turning because now we have an attacker that's building things up instead of tearing them down. For more on who Osa is and how she's shaking things up, here's
Why
game
do I
designer
keep putting
Emilia
myself
Lomé
through
and
this
writer
pain?
Simon Ducharme.
Oh, writer, no. I hate when they do lore. No lore, please.
So Osa's gadget is the Talent Shield. The Talent Shield is our attempt to provide for the attacking team something that is more common with the Defender playstyle, which is a deployable gadget, something that you use to fortify a position. Its original sensitive attack. And
A lot of the clips that they're using the shield in, I'm like, this is so useless.
Attacker in Rainbow Six Siege needs to secure the map, needs to take forward position, needs to...
Interesting use with the Aruni, then they can't break it with
And
impacts.
the idea of bringing a gadget that inherently feels like a defender gadget, but on the attacker side, allows us to reinforce that playstyle. So what we want to see is, as an attacker, I've secured a position, I deploy the shield, this is mine, this is my fortified position, this is like this outpost in defender's territory from which I can now cover my teammate, I can now execute on site, I can show
I don't know.
Like, I can hold position and angle.
I feel like it's just not gonna be as useful. I guess you can like pick it up and just keep moving with it. She's basically a blitz,
and move
just
with
without the
shield.
ability to
It's very
sprint.
similar to a shield operator.
That's what
A
the
lot
tweet.
less strong, so you are at least as vulnerable as a blitz shield, for example. But contrary to a blitz shield, you cannot charge, you cannot flash the enemy, you cannot melee them with your own shield. So she's not designed to be used that way at all. You
Well, he literally just
be
countered
safe
everything I
for a
just
little
said.
while by the time to place your shield, but not much more. We wanted the full transparency, so you can see both sides through the shield. We believe this is a very interesting gameplay element. Those few seconds of tension when you both look at each other in your eyes and you're
That
ready to
demo
shoot,
person just shot, trying to shoot through the shield.
because it's bulletproof glass shield, and now in Siege, bulletproof glass can be shattered. Attackers can use that as well. The security window on Clubhouse, for example, is looking towards bedroom and master bedroom and gym. and you don't really want the defender to use it, so you can place your own shield there, shatter your own shield with your own melee to shut the line of sight. So that shattering effect, even though is mostly intended as a counter available to defense, is a tool that the attacker can use in a clever way, and I'm sure there are many more options that we'll see.
I don't know how many people would want to do that.
So you have to be very careful, because defenders will be able to get rid of your shield. They can use impact grenade and C4. Those are explosive. They're gonna wipe the shield right away. If you're behind it and the C4 explodes, you're in a very tough spot.
They keep... I know it's just for the show, but the demo people keep shooting the shield. I love it.
The shield is transparent. They can literally smoke you out. And that's very risky for you. So OSA is not a guaranteed safe spot. Okay, so for loadout, we've used...
The smoke looks weird with the other smoke.
The first one is the 5.56 from Thermite. It sees AR, very powerful weapon, but so far only Thermite get to use it, and it has a very specific role. So we want to see how this weapon behaves on a very different operator. Second one is the PDW9.
This is what I'm excited for. Operators are glowing as well. You can see they have a glowing outline.
I would argue, and I think people that's going to choose one.
I'm excited for the PDW9.
Very differently, and that's definitely the point.
I wish my teammates were, or my enemies were like that.
She has the PMM. That's because I like the PMM, and I wanted her to have the PMM.
10 seconds.
Literally the strongest pistol in the game.
The Claymore, because having the Claymore to at least protect yourself from flanks is definitely something useful. And then you have the smoke grenade. That was a suggestion we got from pro workshops, where our professional player advised us to use this, because having this shield as a fortified position and an advanced position allows you to drop your smoke on site from a much closer position. And it's very interesting, like this idea of having the shield as a way
so this is my concern, like right there what they did. How's that useful?
To defend the diffuser.
Like you put that on the window and then what? Nothing. Like you're just sitting
there. As far
there.
as role goes, you can make her in the same category as a nomad or...
On a window it feels useless because you can't shoot them, all you can do is see them, but then I guess you call out and you're like, hey, they're over here.
That being said, since our gadget is deployable, you can even have them used by your teammates while you go on a flank. So many strategies are gonna come with this one. But
I guess, yeah, you can use that specific angle, but
the creativity
I don't know who the fuck would be peeking that window.
I can't wait to see what the community is gonna come up with.
Alright guys, I'm about to tap out here. I'm gonna fall asleep for a little bit.
For a while now, because
you guys run the stream.
Top of the line technology. She's actually
no one cares about lore.
So
not a single person in this entire chat. Look at their Twitch chat.
She founded their R&D department called Quantum Concepts and Robotics, or QCR for short. Callie's Level, Wamai's Magnet, Aruni's Prosthetics. She made those things.
I participate. Oh, emote only? They just changed it.
Her family, the Yankovic, are owners.
They're not going to stop me from putting my resident sleepers in.
Her aunt is the one that basically raised her and put her through school, showed her how to make toys, and eventually, you know, led her to her passion.
It says emote only, but everyone else is typing. This is bullshit.
And then another interesting thing is Osa's code name, which is Croatian for wasp. It doesn't really have anything to do with her career or her path or anything that she does. It's a symbolic thing. She chose the name herself because she feels like other people see her as like standoffish.
That is the stupidest fucking thing I've ever heard.
People to know that she's just very protective of her personal life.
Her name has absolutely nothing to do with her or what she does.
She'll respect you.
She just chose it. Even the lore writers are getting lazy.
The design team usually takes a hammer to make big changes to one map. For this season, they're trying something new and breaking out their scalpels for some precise updates to 3 maps.
From what I've seen, there are very little changes for each one. Bank, windows got closed, coastline, all the bars got removed, and then clubhouse, the bar got opened. If that's all there is, that's nothing.
All we were going to do is move a bomb into stage next to bar and do a few tweaks to bar. So we added a doorway in between bar and made the flow an awful lot nicer and better, so it's easier to defend. And then, whilst
moving the bomb is nice.
We cleared out a path through kennels from main gate, turn right. We went through and actually put a path through there as well.
Oh my god.
So now we can actually navigate like a full 360 around the map rather than having to rappel up over buildings. We went through and cleaned up a lot of issues that are with that map. With the tech being updated, it means sound's better, lighting's better, you know,
The light does look
propagation
better.
and gadget deployment's better. But for Clubhouse,
Oh,
it's
they removed that
just
one
moving
truck.
bomb, so we hope that it's going to get picked a little bit more. So Coastline, the changes were a much bigger. We added a breakaway
Oh, the
wall
window's
on the
gone.
outside of VIP, which means there's access from the deck in now. And then we added rappels up from the DJ deck to the roof.
Hey,
Just underneath the
that's actually a good
Then
change.
Courtyard, we
Only took them
made
6
changes
years.
where originally the windows couldn't be barricaded. They're actually now barricadable, which makes a
I'm just
huge
happy those
difference
bars
because
are
you can block
gone.
lines
Yesterday I
of
whiffed
sight
like 6
towards
shots
the
because I
bomb
kept
site.
hitting the
That's
bars.
on all the floors. The other thing that changed a little bit is down in kitchen with service entrance. So we've added a little, next to the bathroom where you have the desk, where you have the soft walls, we've added a doorway window actually further into the room, which means you've actually got to go through and go through service to actually take advantage of the site.
2 years
The
of my
bombs
life
moved
will never
slightly,
get back.
but not,
Also, that
not
Laura
too much.
Vigilao.
Walls are redone, destruction's redone, everything's brought up to the standard that we actually want it to be at now. So it's a great quality of life change.
I'm wondering
Bank's
what
been a
bank
long time
is.
coming. We rebuilt it from the ground up. All the walls are exactly in the same place, maybe 5 centimeters different. The sight lines from the skylights, maybe gave you a little bit too much of a view. The arched windows from exterior of garage, we blocked those off, so shooting to banana is harder. Adding cover to banana, so it's cover, non-cover, cover, non-cover. Also, there used to be a big pile of filing cabinets right at main entrance. We took those out and put a doorway there. So now you've actually, rather than just going through the double doorway from entrance, you've actually got an option where you can go through. So if you are pinched and you are having a gunfight, you can actually have 2 people and actually take the person down.
They didn't show it. Why didn't they show that part?
At the top of square, destructible. And we can pause for the applause. We removed the bars from Vault because when you have a gunfight in Vault, most of the bullets are going to hit the bars and you never hit your target, which is a source
Like
of
those are
massive
nice
frustration
changes,
when
but I'm
you're
like, this
playing
is
both
not
sides.
a
Same
map
thing for Gold
rework.
Vault, Money Vault, we took the bars out of there. The bars have gone from the entire map.
I just like having the
There's
bars
other things. We
gone.
moved the hand
Oh,
from
okay, that's
lobby,
big.
so it drops into Vault. People wouldn't spawn up front because chances are you're going to get run out on. So we fixed those. You can still do them, but with the faster detection and the things we've done to move the vehicles
Nice.
around, you can still do them, but you're going to be detected. And
Yeah, like these are all just small changes that are nice to have, but definitely
If you
not.
spawn at the front of Jewelry, where
Right.
the manhole that goes down into tunnel, we add an alleyway all the way through, so you can go to
Okay, that's a
back
good
access
change.
to terrace and everything else. We've played
They-
with the elevators, moved them around a little bit. They're still in the elevator shafts, obviously, but we've moved them around.
He
changed the
said
hatches and the
he
way
said
you can actually go into the
terrorist,
elevator.
and
So they're a
their
little
subtitle
bit
said
more
terrorist, so you can move to
Bank
terrorist. Oh my
needs some
god.
love, and Bank's got some love.
Okay, those were some okay changes.
At our Future of Siege panel back in February, we teased that changes were coming to Elite Skin.
Finally.
Some of these new customization
Some.
options are launching with Crystal Guard, and there are many more on the way in the future. Matt Daigle from the customization team has more.
How is this taking them 9 months to deliver some?
So currently when you buy an Elite, all of the assets in that Elite bundle are linked together. So you either equip all of it or none of it. So we've worked to solve that as we showcased at the SI this year.
I'm still eating my
We're going to be
waffle.
rolling it out in 2 stages. The first stage we wanted to bring to players as soon as possible. So for the upcoming season, players will be able to select between headgears and uniforms individually. For example, if you have Tachanka's unicorn headgear and you want to mix it with his Elite, you can do that.
Okay.
For the first stage, the op cards, victory dances, and the ability skins will remain linked to the uniform.
Oh my
the
god.
second stage will be the product and feature we fully envision, where players will be able to mix and match between every single asset, ability skins, victory dances, op cards, their favorite headgears and uniforms. And we also are bringing some customization options to op cards, but we'll let you know more about that in the future. We're looking forward to seeing everyone's favorite and unique combinations.
Sure, that's such a useless one.
Balancing a
I'd rather
live
just have
game
it all.
never stops. And in this next segment, we're talking updates.
I'd rather
for
them be like
Twitch,
guaranteed to come next
views,
season.
IQ, along with an adjustment to the flash detection system. Daniel Perez from Ubisoft Barcelona is the person to go over these changes. Take it away, Daniel.
There are a couple of things we wanted to change for Twitch. Right now, Twitch
starts the match during the preparation phase using her own unique drone, unlike most
No, she
other
doesn't.
attackers. Some players may know already, we are planning to allow attackers to switch their selected operator during the preparation phase. So it didn't really make much sense anymore to allow you to start using Twitch's drone, as the change between operators should be seamless. So we wanted her to start the match with a regular drone instead. Given that we were already
she has 3
changing
drones now.
the drone we spawn with, we wanted to also investigate improving the feel of Twitch's drone. So we decided to remove the restriction that it can't jump, so it will be able to jump just as any drone.
It's not
We
bad.
also wanted to remove the electricity damage, so we changed it to laser, which is a different kind of damage. It should be mostly the same for players, but it has a huge benefit, and it is that it has infinite range, so you won't miss any shots anymore because the gadget is too far away.
Infinite range?
The big change here is that we are also allowing now to deploy the charge on reinforced surfaces. This is a big change, and it has a trade-off. First of all, if you do this, there will be a delayed activation time, which will give a heads up to defenders that it's coming, so defenders will be able to be ready and counter it using either electricity or a mute device as before, but also it will spawn a tube which can be actually shot at and destroyed in order to stop the pellets from coming. Well, this should make life better for Fuze users, definitely. We are hoping to see
I was wondering if it actually does make a hole.
On its presence in the game. For defenders, we don't believe this is going to be too punishing, although we'll be monitoring the change, of course.
I like this change.
Basically, what we're doing here is allowing IQ users to use the smart ping system for any gadget that you detect using her electric field detector. This is actually a pretty cool change because we have brought over some new tech to the game in order to allow us to use 2D UI elements in 3D meshes. And here I wanted to give a huge thanks to our lead UI programmer in Ubisoft Barcelona, Jose Manuel Fernandez, who made it possible. So we hope
I love how
that
quickly he, like, I've noticed this a lot with Spanish people since I grew up in a Spanish family, how quickly he changes from English to Spanish, and it's just like, how many words per minute. As soon as it goes to Spanish, it's just like fucking 5,000 words per minute. So I can't really understand Spanish too well.
Icons themselves before pinging
They
them,
speak too
which should
fast.
also allow her to identify elements easier.
This is a good change though. This will actually make IQ not completely useless.
We're aware that a rework for the flash has been...
Oh, if you get flashed, it brings up this
because as an
page.
attacker, you may not feel confident enough to use it to stun an enemy. And we believe that it basically boils down to 2 reasons. First of all, even if you actually hit someone with a stun grenade and they're in range, they may still get affected with such a low intensity that it may not even look like they've been flashed at all. And they are still able to see with perfect clarity, or at least good enough. And also, for defenders, it was probably a little bit too easy to counter because you just needed to literally turn around, not see the flash blast, and then you're good to go. So we wanted to change these things. When you get flash, you now will always get flash at full intensity, so you always will see your full screen completely white. However, what we're changing now is the duration of the flash. So if you're far away or partially blocked, you will get a much shorter flash. We have changed the detection algorithm itself to account for multiple parameters. So even if you're looking in the opposite direction, you will still get a little bit of flash because we're trying to simulate rays of light bouncing off walls in the immediate environment to make it more reliable.
Chat does not like that. I like it.
One of the major issues our community has dealt with over the
Toxicity.
past few years is the visibility of operators in certain situations. To discuss how we're addressing this issue in Crystal Guard and other quality of life changes coming with the season, we have UX designer Sebastien Francois.
Quality of life.
So the issue with the current system is that some uniforms on some operators can blend very, very well with the background in some maps.
North Star.
That makes it very frustrating for players to try and notice them and have a fair gunfight. So to fix the issue, we are adding rim lighting to enemies. So now you will see just a little bit of light on the edge of the operator, and that will make it much easier for you to notice them in the map.
I like that.
So the rim lighting will be applied on all enemies, on any skin, in any map, but you still have the option to turn that off if you prefer the old look. There should be no more frustration.
Who the fuck would ever
trying
choose to
engage in
turn
gunfights
that off?
where you could barely see your enemy. That shouldn't happen anymore. That's the objective for this change. So of course we'll be listening to feedback, and if we need to tweak that a little bit more, we'll do it.
That's a big dub.
That's the objective.
That's almost it for the show. But
Oh,
we've
there's
got
more?
a few more things to cover. The conversion of armor to health
Mm-hmm.
that we debuted on the North Star test server will be going live with
Ooh,
Crystal
I like
Guard.
that.
The team has been working on making the test server experience more lively and rewarding.
Oh,
Our next step towards this goal is running a single dedicated playlist on the TS to group our players together and improve matchmaking.
yes.
Custom games will, of course, still be available.
Okay.
You could experience this change firsthand on the Crystal Guard test server, which is going live tomorrow, August 17th. Now, it wouldn't be right if we didn't end the show with a bang. We'd like to introduce you to our newest elite skin for Lion,
Oh.
inspired by Resident Evil's own Leon S. Kennedy.
Yeah, I've seen this before.
And our Year 6 collector's case available now for pre-order.
A collector's case.
Have a good stream.
Okay, I don't know much about Resident Evil, but why is he punching birds? Is that something I just don't know? Legends Hammer replica, 50 centimeters. Three exclusive photographs. Okay. Embroidered cloth patch. IQ keyring. They give you that? You get the Tachanka unicorn thing. Authenticity certificate. Well guys, I don't know about you, but I am incredibly excited about this collector's case. Ubisoft, I will send you my address. Please just send it to me right away, no questions asked, and I'll post it on Instagram, you know. Whatever you want. How do you feel about the new season on a scale of 1 to 10? 1 being not at all excited, 10 being very, 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 very excited. Because I'm like, I'd say like a 6. I'm like, you know, this seems cool, but I feel like there's not enough, again, content to really grab me. It's like a lot of cool, nice, small things, but nothing crazy huge. It'll still never be as big as 2 operators per season. I cry thinking about that. Most of you said around 7. I think that's fair. I think new season has a lot of, like I said, a lot of small things to be excited for, but nothing crazy major. OSA. Assuming all of you got to see the OSA reveal. How useful, again, on a scale of 1 to 10, 1 being not at all useful and 10 being super useful, how useful do you think OSA is going to be? I'm not saying like a specific situation like Warden, I'm saying like overall, how useful? A lot of you said 4. 4 to 5 is the average. I would agree. I don't think he's or she's going to be as situational as Warden is. He is very situational. Warden is like the most situational operator ever. I think she's going to be slightly more situational or slightly less situational than him. because I don't see how you can use those like glass windows or whatever to benefit you other than just like when they put it on the clubhouse windows to cut off rotations. Like, okay, that's a good practical use for it, but that's about it. I don't see where else they can really use it. Morden is better now with the flash changes.
I just love
That's
Dix.
true. He's actually a more viable pick because with the new flash changes, you'll actually have to like bring a warden to hold a very specific spot, because with how it is currently, you can just turn around. I guess this is not a question. This is more just disappointed. The elite skin customization. They said you can now mix and match headgears with uniforms, but I believe if you want the animation, you still have to have the full headgear and uniform combo. So now basically all you can do is just like add in to like the elite skin uniform or headgear to whatever you're running, but you don't get anything else. I could be wrong. That's how I interpreted it, because they said in order to run the animations, you'll still need the uniform. But I don't know if they mean like just the uniform, like just one piece, or like the whole thing. I don't know. Chat, Fuze change on a scale of 1 to 10. Usefulness. Now that Fuze can breach reinforced walls, how useful do you think it'll be from 1 to 10? I see a lot of 10s already. Some 9s. Alright, average now is like 9-ish. Honestly, I don't think it's going to be that useful, but I can definitely see where it could be. So I can see a situation arising where it's like you bring Fuze, you thatcher the wall, you quickly put down a Fuze charge, and if they're not bandit tricking, then you just destroy everything inside. So that would be useful, but maybe it's only going to be useful in the lower ranks. Like I'd say gold and below is where you don't see as much bandit tricking. So that's where you can actually use it. But then as soon as you get to like platinum, people are going to be better. They're going to know. They'll be like, okay, they're going to do this. We're going to bandit trick or Kate trick or mute trick. I don't think we actually got to see the full timer, like how long it takes to go, because they said with a reinforced wall, it'll take some time to break through. And you can destroy it as soon as it peeks through. Actually, I forgot about that. They actually said when it starts to tunnel through, you can shoot it immediately. I assume. Unless they meant like that was just only when it starts to actually shoot the pucks off. It could be just when the pucks are going off, but it wouldn't be too hard to break it. Aruni tricking? Oh, actually, that's a good question. Or like that's a good point. Would the Aruni break it? If you have an Aruni gate down and the Fuze thing pokes through, its little penis pokes through, will the gate destroy it? I don't know. Either way, it's very easy to destroy, so I don't think it'll see much play. I can definitely see it happening more for... you could set up a combo. Imagine kitchen hatch in or clubhouse. You put your Fuze charge on kitchen hatch. They hear it and they're like, okay, time to back up. And then you put a Fuze charge in kitchen in the other corner. The time difference for them to go off is going to be basically synced up. Because like it'll take an extra, 2 seconds to break through the reinforcement. You put down another one, set it off right away. You're going to have both cluster charges going off at the same time. This is buff number 105 to Fuze, and he's still weak. True. Fuze is just an operator that naturally does not work well with Siege. But we'll see, we'll see. Anything else I forgot to ask for your opinion on, chat? Oh yeah, IQ change. I like it. I think it's an amazing change, and I think it's really good. Sure, it might make things just a little bit easier, but I don't really see an issue with that. I love the IQ change, because then it'll actually mean that she can mark things for people. Oh yeah, Twitch change. Twitch will now have infinite range on her Twitch drone. Infinite range. I don't know how I feel about that. You could have a Twitch drone underneath a white van all the way in the back on like Consulate Garage, and you could break bandits off the wall. That's, I don't know. I think that's too much. I think I think I'm probably focusing too much on the infinite range. There's probably, you know, better things to focus on, but I just feel like the infinite range is insane. And then on top of that, it now no longer does shock damage. It's a laser, so I don't think it actually does damage anymore. It just breaks things. I don't know. Aren't Master and Zero lasers? They are. They never really clarified because they said it no longer does electricity damage. So I'm like, what the fuck does that mean? Just the wording they used was a little weird. I'm sure it'll be fine, but it just seemed weird. I don't think we have anything else to talk about. I think that's about it. Overall, I would definitely say this there's more to be excited about than there was last season. Since Shadow Legacy, each season has been getting increasingly more stale and less changes right off the bat. This season, we saw almost nothing change at the beginning, and then a lot of the big changes, or at least interesting stuff, came out in the last month of the season. Zofia AR getting nerfed to shit. Alibi getting the 1.5 times scope. Like basically things that actually change how people play. It just... ACS 12 and TCSG getting buffed. Like small gun changes that actually make you want to play a little bit differently. Test server going live tomorrow means the new season will be launching on, if we do simple math, the 7th of September. Because TTS is always 3 weeks long.
I just love dicks.
That means we're getting it a week earlier than last year, which means this season's going to be a week shorter. Which is weird to me. I guess it's not insane, it's just weird that they're making the season shorter. Oh yeah, operator visibility. We'll talk about that's the last thing. So, or last thing we'll really talk about, because there's nothing really crazy to say about it. Now you'll be able to see people no matter what skin they wear. Overall good. I don't think anyone in chat's gonna hate that. It means Ember Rise and North Star uniforms are no longer overpowered as shit. Armor to health. I mean, we've talked about that before. That's been talked about now for 6 months and it's finally being implemented. Overall good change. I think no one will really argue against having your armor converted to health so it's more understandable like how much damage everything does. The only issue we have is things like heals. When Doc stim pistols you, if you're a 3 armor, you're getting less healing technically, unless they changed it. If they change it to scale, now it's better, but if say you have 140 health as a 3 armor, and you go down to 100 and you get healed, you get back up to 140. But 1 armor who only has 100 health goes down to 60, goes back up to 100. That's more percentage. So we'll see. We'll see. Overall, interesting season. I am very intrigued to see how it plays out.